Hello ladies and gents, my name is James Macaulay, or as I'm known on the internet, LessThanPi, and this is the LessThanPi Art Show. The art show that isn't about art. Today's episode 3. 3 episodes, pretty cool. I'm drawing, I don't know what I call these guys, basically Peach, Mario, and Luigi. But today I'm going to be talking about stage lists in Smash 4. So my biggest gripe right now, I guess, is a ban-happy community. I'm very, very fearful that people are going to be very quick to just start banning things without much reason or logic, aside from this isn't what I want, if that makes sense. I think when banning things in games, you don't just ban things because it doesn't suit your palette, right? I started playing Melee about 9-10 years ago, and when I played that game, there were a lot of legal stages. You know, Rainbow Cruise I think was legal, Polka Floats, Brinstar, Mute City. There were a lot of legal stages that aren't legal in the competitive rule set now. It's kind of sad for me to watch that. Now all the stages tend to favor the best characters in the game. My go-to counter pick as a young Samus main was Brinstar. Right, my hardest matchups, and this is my personal difficulties, were Falco and Marth. And Brinstar, even without the lava, it really cripples Falco's laser game. You can't just laser camp you because you can stand behind the little tentacle thingies, right? When the lava does come up, Falco's forced onto that little teeny tiny platform, or one of the two side platforms. And as Samus, I can use my up B to alleviate pressure, and I don't know, it's just easy for me. He also gets a lot of damage from the lava, which is cool for me, right? So in a best of 3 situation, that's me getting a pretty at least one win, right? So my question is, what's wrong with that? A lot of people will say, well, it's random, the stage affects you. Well, yeah, the stage affects me, but I mean, the stage affects you, but it affects me as well, right? I'm using the stage to my advantage. And one could argue that when Falco takes me to FD, he's doing the same thing. He's using his character's mechanics to trump mine. I can't aggress on him. Samus, at least back when I played her, Samus is not an aggressive character. I don't know if that's changed. You don't go run up to people and force yourselves on them. You try and zone in space and take advantage of their manipulate and try and take advantage of what they do, how they approach you. Use your up B or wave dash back and forth tilt, or whatever. Zone with missiles, and all those stages are disappearing. Mute City is terrible for a spacey. Not terrible. It's not good for spaces, and definitely not as good as Battlefield or FD. So it's always intrigued me that things have kind of gone that way. And I mentioned this before, what I enjoyed about the Smash series is that it's big. That there's a lot of variety available for people to enjoy. Now moving on to Brawl, I think I was better at Brawl than I was at Melee. I was pretty good at Melee, but I think I was better at Brawl than I was at Melee. And I actually went through the whole entire thing with Brawl. When Brawl started, items were pretty quickly shut out. There was a pretty big stage list, so we had stages like Luigi's Mansion. Norfair was legal for a while. Brinstar was legal for a while. Rainbow Cruise, there was a good variety of stages, and those quickly were whittled away, and that frustrated me a lot as well. My argument, and at the time, stage hazards weren't banned because people were okay with stage hazards back then. And I don't know, I guess it frustrated people that they couldn't take advantage of the lava on Norfair or Brinstar or something, that they couldn't I don't know. Either way, a lot of stages again started getting banned out in favor of smaller, more Battlefield FD like stages. So we end up with lists that that have that same three platform flat stage go to that we've kind of fallen back to, the quote unquote neutral stages. And I think it was I'm gonna name drop here. I think it was Overswarm who said that there are no neutral stages. There is no such thing as a neutral stage, right? Falco wins on FD. Falco beats people on FD. Ice Climbers beat people on FD, right? That's not a neutral stage. Marth has huge advantage on, talking melee here. Marth has a huge advantage on Battlefield compared to, like, Dreamland or something. These aren't neutral stages. Characters have intrinsic, is that even the right word? Characters have advantages on those stages. So saying that a stage like Brinstar isn't good for, or isn't viable because it gives another character an advantage is just unreasonable, because the stages, the quote-unquote neutral stages, give characters advantages as well. Stage lists, how you manage your stage list affects the viability of certain characters, right? So if I have, say, 10 stages I'm good on, and we cut half of those stages away, then my character loses a lot of its potency in the game as a whole. And, that's something to consider before you just get ban happy and start getting rid of things. I'm fearful that people will start to ban things from Smash 4 because it was banned in Smash, in Brawl and Melee. In Melee, walk-offs were banned for a very specific reason. It wasn't because of camping or anything of that nature. It was because Fox could wave shiny off the stage. It gave Fox a huge advantage that people felt were unfair. In Brawl, it was something similar. D.E.D could chain grab, walk you off on stage. At least that's how I understood it. That's why a lot of the walk-offs were banned. Then, by that logic, we shouldn't be ready to ban walk-offs yet. Camping isn't a bad thing for our game. I don't think camping's bad. I think camping adds depth to the game. It gives people an opportunity to play a game in a way they want to. That's fine. Someone's going to camp and someone's going to have to approach, or they will lose the game. So that, I don't think there's anything bad there. I think situations and stages, and I'm a little iffy on even saying this, situations and stages where you're forced to stay separate from one another, those are bad. When you need to advance and approach, but you cannot approach because it will end up in you being put into a even worse position. So that falls into, and I mentioned this in my last video, it falls into stages like Pokemon Stadium 1, where the stupid tree pops up and you can't jump over the tree. You're gonna take a whole bunch of stupid damage. Those are I'm iffy on, and even those, like that's not unreasonable in my mind. It goes away. Most stage hazards, at least most of the stage hazards in the Smash games, they are made to force people to be together. And when you force people together, you're going to create conflict, and that's what we want to see. That's what viewers want to see. And I guess that's my other point. I think people want to see a variety of stages, just like they want to see a variety of characters. And those two things go hand in hand. The more stages you have viable, or the more stages you have available, rather, the more characters will be viable. That's just how it works. So if, Meta Knight's amazing on all the current stages, but there's characters that do better than him on some stages. Where's Sheik good at? Right, so, okay, Sheik, I personally, I think Sheik beats Meta Knight on Final Destination. She beats him on, she can outmaneuver him. So big stages, are good for her. Man, I forget all the names of the stages now. I haven't played these games in too long. Here's another Overstorm example. I'm gonna link to these in my description, I hope. He mentioned Falco and Toon Link. Toon Link was, he said, shut out of the game essentially because a lot of the stages where his mobility, ability to zone projectiles was shut down, and Falco's ability to just stand there and spam lasers and chain grab people was magnified by the stages we let be lethal. I've always said, and you can look these up, please do, that Sheik is a better character than Falco, or at least on par. She has every single tool that he has. He has very poor kill options, but for some reason he does extremely well. And after reading this post, it really kind of shone a light off in my head, I guess. The stages are catered to him, you know? Same thing with Diddy Kong. Like, of course he's going to do well if there are no bad stages for him anymore, you know? So I guess that's it. I guess let's try and do some closing statements here. A broader stage list will make more characters viable. It will make the game more fun to watch, and it will make the game more fun to play. I don't think we need to be worried about fairness. And let me rephrase that. I don't think we need to be worried about random or about walk-offs or any of those things yet. We need to play the game, dissect it, and learn different stages and how to circumvent and be better than them. Oh man, you know, like you can't. It's not the stage isn't against you. The stage is there. You're playing on the stage. You have to take advantage of what's there. Just like on Battlefield, you take advantage of the platforms. FD, you take advantage of the edge. Take advantage of the stage hazards. Use them to your character's advantage. That's what this game is all about. And that's what it's always been about. Well, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. As always, thanks for watching. God bless. Be safe. I'll see you next time.